All right, let's roll this. I was not prepared to do a live stream tonight. I have my, I've got nothing set up here, guys. Nothing at all, other than a little bit of attitude, kind of being pissed off about what's going on, and then also excited. So tonight we're going to talk about why, why I felt the need to get on here and talk about this. But there's a couple of things that have happened. I made a video this afternoon asking let me know in the chat how the audio is, if it's 5x5 and all that kind of stuff, because I just started. I have normally I have like this whole process set up, but I made a video questioning the whole like operation in Caracas in Venezuela to get Maduro. And thank you, Nathan. New setup's looking great. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And one of the things that really kind of bothered me was some of the responses that I got just for my opinion on what I thought about the whole operation. Apparently, the United States military got 2,500 pounds of documents. Is that even right? I can't confirm that, but I'm trying to figure it out, right? I'm trying to work through this. But so my big thing is, I've got a question for everyone in the chat. Poll question. If Donald Trump was able to go back and prove that the 2020 election was null and void, would it change history? Let me know in the chat, yes or no. Would that change history? Would it literally change the world? Because I believe if there is a way to go back and prove that the 2020 election and all of the things that were signed by Joe Biden with an auto pen was wrong or null and void, I believe it changes everything. I don't think there is another opportunity other than rolling out a DeLorean with Doc and Marty and going 88 miles an hour. I don't think there's a way to change the actual layout of the world more so than Donald Trump being able to prove that things that happened for the 2020 election were null and void. Because I don't know how this works. I'm not a legal scholar. I'm a redneck living in Arkansas. I'm like a redneck married a hillbilly. And this is what you get, okay? And during basketball season, I'm a Razorbacks fan. That's the only, and baseball season. But I believe if Donald Trump was to be able to go back and change that, things could really be different. And I believe Donald Trump is probably the greatest president in obviously the 20th century. I believe you're talking greatness all the way back to Reagan. Reagan did a couple of things I don't agree with. That's fine. He got rid of insane asylums. First amnesty bill as well. I don't agree with any of that shit. But you go further back. I think Nixon was a great president. He did exactly what he needed to do. Nixon won like almost every state. He was the last president to carry Minnesota. So think about that. Last Republican president to carry Minnesota. I believe if Donald Trump was able to get in a DeLorean and roll back to 2020, to let's say the summer of 2020, prior to the election, and reveal some of the chicanery, and I'll just say it, it's a little late, some of the fuckery that happened during that presidential race, and you all know exactly what it is. You know what it is. I have to be careful what I say here, but you know it. So I put out a video today where a guy by the name of, is it Chuck Ritter? Scott Ritter, former a UN weapons inspector. Okay. I don't like the guy, but he brought up something that really got my gray matter thinking. And I put out a video about it, about my opinion. And you all know that I'm not scared to voice my opinion at all. And I know a lot of you aren't either, and I'm glad of that. Smash the like and subscribe button. I'm a real dude. I sit down to shit, okay? Just like everybody else, or most of you. So I put out this video, and the whole thing that I brought up was the question of the operation. There are so many things about this operation that are so perfect. And I don't mean to throw any shade at the administration. I've got my autographed Trump hat somewhere around here. I've got my presidential coin. I've been in the Oval Office. I love the guy. I would lay down for that guy. I'd give him my jacket to walk through mud, you know, ladies. And I love the United States military. I'm retired. I'm not Mark Kelly shitting on the United States military. For the swear jar, thank you, Nathan. But I brought up just one question of, I think, obviously there was some inside baseball going on there. Someone knew when the balls and strikes were going to be thrown. Somebody knew who was throwing a curve. Somebody knew who was throwing the changeup. I want to tip my hat to the CIA because I think they laid a lot of groundwork. I want to tip my hat to the United States military. What's up, Cowboy Up Texas? Thank you. I want to say this, and I agree with you, and I'll get to your super chat in a second. I believe someone in the Maduro administration sold this guy down the river, and that's the easy answer for me to run with. The next easy answer is, I believe Donald Trump put the United States military, the United States Navy in the Caribbean as an absolute dark cloud over Venezuela to let Maduro know, we're here, we're going to get what we want, and you can either give it to us, you can be part of the deal, or we can put you in an urn. That's what I think. And for some reason, there were people in my comments, and I would love for you to read the comments. Go to that video. But it was almost like I was being judged on this purity test. How dare you? I mean, there were people saying, Ben, don't go down this avenue. And it brought me along to what's happening right now with Dan Bongino. Bongino's coming back to the podcaster world, going back to Rumble. He's going to have the biggest freaking live stream ever, every day. I hope he does. And Bongino kicked the door in on Matt Gaetz today. Matt Gaetz should probably stick with all the teenage girls at the parties. He should. I don't think he's in the league. Do I agree with everything that Bongino has done? No. Do I agree with everything Matt Gaetz has done? No. Does it mean I don't like either one of them? No. I like them both because they come at things with different avenues. We both know Matt Gaetz didn't get confirmed as an attorney general, and he would never get confirmed as attorney general. So for those of you that are hanging on to that, pull that lollipop out of your butt and throw it in the toilet. Don't put it back in your mouth. It's going to taste like shit. He will never get confirmed as attorney general. Now, is that saying he's a bad person? No. But there's a lot of shade getting thrown at Matt Gaetz. Pam Bondi is what we've got. Is she the best? No. Is she the best over the last 20 years? Without a shadow of a freaking doubt, she's the best over the last 20 years. You go back and look at, what was the dickhead from Alabama? I can't even remember his name. He was there for like 28 minutes, gone. And then you had Bill Barr, PSYOP, deep state, worked for the Bushes. We know this. Then you had Eric Holder, Fast and Furious. He's the reason there's some empty dinner table seats from some family members of ICE and Customs and Border Patrol. Prove me wrong on that one, right? If you prove me wrong on that one, I'll give you 20 minutes to draw a crowd at the town square in Fayetteville, and then I'll kiss your ass in public. Eric Holder is definitively responsible for the deaths of American law enforcement. Prove me wrong, I will absolutely kiss your ass middle of the day, whatever day of the week you want. We can live stream it. Merrick Garland came this close to being a Supreme Court justice. That close. Obama wanted to appoint him. We saw how effective that son of a bitch was during the Obama administration, during the Biden administration, right? We saw that. So I'm already putting Pam above Barr, Holder, and Garland. And I can't even remember. I can't even remember the asshole's name from Alabama that was a senator. Jeff Sessions. Thank you in the chat. Sessions. Loser. She's what we've got. Kenny Rogers said, you know, you can't count your money while you're sitting at the table. Don't do it. Right? Don't do it. Just play your cards. Play your cards. The cards that are dealt to you. That's the cards that are dealt to us. But tonight, make sure you smash the like and subscribe button. I'm sorry. I'm a little fired up. I'm a little pissed off. I'm going to swear I don't care. The Navy trained me to do it, and I do it well. But here we are, and I need to get on here and ask some questions tonight. And I just want to say, this isn't about policies anymore. Things have turned into a purity test, a scoreboard. Thank you, DC Power, becoming a member on the channel. You're what keeps the channel alive. Cowboy Up, Texas forever. There's this secret ranking system for who's the most MAGA. And if you don't say the exact right line in the exact right tone on the exact right day, boom, you're a sellout, a plant, or a grifter. And here's the part nobody wants to admit. The left doesn't have to beat us if we start eating our own. I don't want to swear at the live stream. I don't want to swear at my audience. I'll say this again. The left doesn't have to beat us if we start eating our own, because that's what purity tests do. They don't build movements. They shrink them. They turn every disagreement into a loyalty trial and every influencer into a judge. I'm not a judge. I'm not a judge. I have an opinion. I hate the word influencer. I think it sounds gay as shit. I'm not influencing anyone, okay? I'm not an influencer. But now I'm for calling out all the real grifters. And if somebody's cashing checks and selling snake oil while telling you, trust me, bro, then I want receipts on the table. But what I'm seeing lately isn't accountability. This is tribal theater. People aren't asking, is this true? They're asking, is this MAGA enough? Is this MAGA enough for you? You're not MAGA enough. This is bullshit, ladies and gentlemen. And tonight we're going to talk about this. And I've got some examples I want to show you about why this suddenly pissed me off. Another thing I want to talk about, who benefits from it? Let me ask that in the chat. Who benefits more from this MAGA purity test? Conservatives? MAGA? Donald Trump? Or the Democrat Party? Who benefits more? Let me put the poll in the chat. Because I believe the conservative movement loses in all this. Is there a purity test in MAGA? 2/3 of you say yes. Okay. Who do you think benefits more on this? I can't even spell right now. Who benefits more from a MAGA purity test? Is it Trump? Is it MAGA? Is it, I'm going to say this. Is it MAGA or Democrats? Because Democrats can't beat us. We beat ourselves, guys. We beat ourselves. We do. It's so true. Who benefits more from MAGA, from purity test? MAGA or Dems? I believe it's the Democrat Party. I've got some stuff I want to show you. And I mean, let me ask you this. On a scale of 1 to 10, how MAGA, how conservative is General Mike Flynn? 1 to 10, a scale of being 1, he is wearing a Hillary Clinton pajamas, or 10, he sleeps in MAGA underwear. Because I think General Mike Flynn is 100% MAGA. I don't even want to use that. I think he's 100% America. I think General Mike Flynn is pro-America. They tried to destroy him. They tried to take his life. They tried to take his what do you call it? They tried to take his legacy. They tried to take his legacy. They tried to destroy his name, right? Would you agree with that? I think a lot of people would agree with me. I'm just talking to you all like you're my friend sitting across the bar from me, okay? Or I try not to go to too many bars anymore. But when a movement starts winning, people show up for clout, cash, and relevance. Clout, cash, and relevance. I could get on right now and point out YouTube channels that showed up for clout, cash, and relevance. If I could do that. If you get in the Discord server, if you join the channel as a member and you get into the Discord server, I'm going to tell you which channels are showing up or did show up for clout, for cash, and relevance. I will share that with you. I have the receipts. I'm trying not to use any F-bombs because I might be on the living room TV with many of you. And I have enough respect for you all not to do that. Okay. I'm sorry if I've swore, but I'm telling you, I take this stuff personal. The bigger the audience gets, the more overnight patriots appear. It's like adding water. The base starts demanding proof that you're real. Okay. Now, the whole thing with politics and news channels and all this stuff, this has led to what I would call an influencer economy. You have people that used to make videos about World of Warcraft that now talk about politics, that now talk about the news. I'll tell you this. I had an entire channel dedicated to me riding my motorcycle. The veteran biker. Many of you have followed me from that migration. I made one video about one thing that Harley Davidson did, and it changed the trajectory of everything I do. More importantly, it changed the way I looked at things because I realized I was involved in something that I wasn't prepared to. I couldn't support Harley Davidson anymore at that time. Have they improved? Yes. They fired their shithead CEO, right? But they made a deal with Budweiser during the whole time that Dylan Mulvaney was taking baths with Bud Light, right? I made a video saying, I can't do this anymore. It changed everything. And people on my channel and audience started asking me questions, right? They started asking me questions. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? That's how I got here. But there are channels that used to talk about football. Now they're a politics channel. They used to talk about World of Warcraft. Now they're a politics channel. They used to talk about fishing. Now they're a politics channel. They used to talk about poetry. Now they're a politics channel. Are you seeing where I'm going with this? This is the freaking truth, people. The absolute truth. Politics on YouTube has become its own currency. It's become its own economy. Okay? And right-wing media isn't just politics anymore. It's a business. If attention is revenue, then outrage and escalation are $50 bills. Okay? It is. And that has become the business model. And purity tests are the easiest way to keep the audience fired up. I'm more conservative than you son of a bitch. No, you're not, you asshole. That's outrage. That's what they do. Okay? That's what happens. And instead of arguing the policy, instead of talking about what is actually occurring, it's I'm more conservative than you. Oh, no, hell, you're not. I drink out of a made in Texas coffee cup. Well, you can kiss my butt. My mom made me drink out of this made in China cup. It becomes that, okay? It's easier to shout traitor than to explain your perspective. It's easy. It's really easy. And I will say this, conservatives and right-wing influencers, as gay as that word sounds, I feel like I need to wear a damn G-string when I say influencer, right? But it's easier for them to beat up each other. And the comments on my video were like, you're losing us, man. Because I questioned the whole point of the Venezuela nab. I believe Donald Trump would, and I would love to know how many of you would do this in the chat. I'm looking at the chat. How many of you would trade a pardon? Would you trade Maduro's freedom to find out about Smartmatic and Dominion? Would you trade that? Would you trade the 2020 election? Would you trade all of the bills that Joe Biden signed? Would you trade all of the executive orders that Biden signed to give Nicolas Maduro a pardon? I'm going to say right now, I would. I absolutely would. And I know someone that's much smarter than me that wrote a book called The Art of the Deal. And I believe that the guy that wrote the book, The Art of the Deal, would also trade Maduro's freedom for all of those things that I just listed. I would in a second. Let me grab some other super chats right here. Cowboy Up, I think we need to question everything, even Trump. That's how we keep everything real. We aren't the left. We question and discuss things openly. First boom shakalaka of the night.
Amen.
Right there.
Hallelujah. And boom
that is the first boom shakalaka of the night. Thank you, Cowboy Up. I appreciate that. Tommy, allegiance. Wait, what does it say? Number 1, Christian. Number 2, allegiance to the flag. Number 3, under God, and believe in that. Founding Fathers documents for the purity test. Tommy, I'm giving it to you as well. Boom shakalaka.
Hallelujah.
Now, I'm going to tell you right now, join the channel as a member. You want some inside baseball on how the whole machine of YouTube works? I'll give it to you. If there's anybody in my Discord that wants help starting their own YouTube channel, I'll give you as much bad advice that got me here. Because I have found out that there are very few people within YouTube that you can trust. If you're a channel and there's somebody else with a channel similar to you, you have no friends. None. If you're lucky, you find a couple of guys to be friends with, like Barry Cunningham. I call Barry a friend. Doug Tenaple, Doug in Exile. Doug is a friend. Neil Johnson, friend. Right? I call those guys friends. Jameson's Travels, that guy's a friend. Those guys, there's another guy, he's active duty Navy, Nikki MGTV, friend. When I had like 150 subscribers, I messaged Nikki, I'm retired Navy, man. I love your channel. Could you give me some advice? He was like, give me your number. I'll call you. Nikki had 200,000 subscribers at the time or whatever. Way bigger. Jameson's Travels, over 800,000 subscribers at the time. I think I had like 5,000 subscribers. Jameson, loved the content, dude. Love to pick your brain. Hey, man, what's going on? Then me and Jameson met up in Texas and all this other stuff, right? Friend. Him and I talk 2 or 3 times a week. If you're a channel making content like your friend, like what you thought were your friends, they're not. They will step over you. They will shit on you. They will do anything for a click that they think you don't deserve or that you shouldn't get. Big channel with the poetry teacher tried to get my channel shut down, right? literally tried to turn his audience to go mass report me. Because how dare I use similar font to that person on thumbnails? Can you believe this petty shit? Literally. Some of the comments, the person would have never made to my face because I would have probably been in jail. Felonious assault, okay? You don't do that. Your audience is everything. You guys are everything. And some of you are going to agree with me on things, and that's amazing. Some of you are not. Do you know George? George, great channel. George and I had a bit of a falling out. We had a disagreement. And people don't like to disagree, man. As soon as you bring up something, me and George, we're good friends. I love George's content. I still watch his channel. Great dude. We had a disagreement. We'll leave it at that. But George is a good dude. Great dude, great channel, great information, great content. George is a good one. Absolute legend. Lives in Colorado, so he's fighting an uphill battle as a conservative, right? But that's kind of what I want to talk about tonight. I'm going to show you some stuff that I really think is important that, there's my notes. So one of the things I want to show you is, let me see. Man, I had too many of those open. Let's go here. Wait. Right here. Brendan Dilley. Dilley Meme Team. Everybody knows Dilley Meme Team, right? Great. Guy puts out some of the best memes on YouTube or on X. I think he does a live stream as well. I like Brendan. Warlord Dilley. Him and Cat Turd are thicker than thieves. Brendan Dilley came out this afternoon. Man, I got to move my my camera here real quick. My camera, I'm setting a little too high. Let's see here. Let me move that down. Sorry. There we go. Sorry, I don't want y'all just looking at the Razorback. But the Razorback baseball or basketball is looking really good. So Brendan Dilley came out with a post on X. President Trump just praised Speaker Mike Johnson this morning for his hard work. Okay? Mike Johnson, I don't agree with everything the guy's done or not done, but Donald Trump thought it was a good idea to give him a compliment, to throw Mike Johnson a bone, right? I think that's great. Dilley says, so naturally, a few hours later, scumbag Mike Flynn is out here counter messaging the president and attacking Mike Johnson. Those are some damn strong words, man. That is some strong language. Would you agree with that? Would you agree that's some strong language? Okay. Now, let me fix my chat down here. I like having the chat up there. Sorry if you guys don't like it, but I like it. I like being able to see what everybody's saying. Okay? I like being able to see what everybody's saying. Sorry. And it keeps me in check. It keeps me in check, right? So, now here's the clip of General Mike Flynn questioning what the president said about Mike Johnson. And this should give you an idea of what I'm talking about. Okay, let's roll it.
Just so people know, and I'm very transparent about what I'm doing out there for the most part. I am in the process because I want Speaker Johnson to do more. And so we started looking at Speaker Johnson's PACs and how many of his PACs turn money back around to daycare and healthcare clinics and that kind of stuff. It's incredible the amounts of money. And that's one person, but he happens to be the Speaker of the House. So this is not a partisan thing for me. Just so people know, and I'm very transparent about what.
So General Flynn, that was what General Flynn said. It doesn't seem that bad, right? But man, look here. Look at the comments. Brendan Dilley. I see you, dickhead. Whoa. I mean, it seems like this is one of the purity tests. Nikki Nunley, great song. Why did you have to do this to me? I'm going to have to go and listen to this. It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. How many of you are going to have to listen to that song? Thank you. How dare you, Nikki?
How dare you?
How dare you? Right? Great song, Nikki. Great song. Cowboy Up, Texas Forever. As a Navy combat vet speaking, just wanted to say Senator Mark Kelly is a traitor, in my opinion. Completely wrong about Secretary of War Pete Hegseth. E4 Mafia. Boom shakalaka. Thank you, Cowboy Up. Get in the Discord. You would be a great member to have on the channel. Mike Flynn, in my opinion, is a patriot. He was just sharing an opinion on Mike Johnson. But once again, it's that, I hate to say it's a measuring test, and you all know what it's about measuring. You all know, but that's kind of what it is. Let's see here. Mountain Goddess, not seeing anyone. Michael Bird, the Capitol police officer who shot Ashley Babbitt and his wife, run a daycare out of their mansion in Maryland. So far collected $190 million. I'm opening a freaking daycare. It's going to be Ben's Daycare. I will put your kid in the yard with a dog bone. That's what I will do. But here's basically what I questioned, right? How perfect that the raid was, because I believe the raid was perfect. When these kind of images were, I mean, these are all AI generated, but this could have been exactly that. So Brendan Dilley, I'm going to say patriot. I'm going to say Mike Flynn, patriot. And I'm going to say this, they're entitled to their opinions, and I am as well, right? And many of you are entitled to your opinion. Let's go here. So this is where shit's going to get a little saucy, okay? Dan Bongino is back. Back to being an influencer, right? And I wish I could say that with a hair lip. Influencer, right? Because that's how gay it sounds. He puts out this post. Good to see you. I missed you. Thanks for everything while we worked on cleaning up. Working in the administration was the experience of a lifetime. Absolutely. You were picked by the president to go work for him, right? Couple of things. Thanks for your interest in the show. Return date is tomorrow. It's the only thing that's going to keep Rumble alive, because Rumble sucks ass, okay? It just does. Bongino is the only thing that will keep Rumble afloat. Says the Trump team is not kidding around. It's an otherworldly experience from the other side. He's determined, focused. Having been around quite a few presidents, this one broke the mold, 1,000%. Here's where he addresses the trolls. And this is what I do to the trolls too. I just flush them. He just blocks them. I flush them. Says, if we blocked you, it's because we care so little about your bullshit, we don't even think it's worthy of even seeing. That's what I do. If I flush you, your opinion doesn't matter. If I wanted your opinion after I flush you, I would scrape it off my zipper. That's my opinion of trolls. He says, if you're bitching and whining about what it means, what about it that means you can't exist without seeing and commenting on ours, right? People get so hung up on their rage that they have to post. You'll see it tonight in the chat. I'm sure there's people in the chat that are like, my comments are blocked. Oh, here we go. True Detective. Ben has flushed 1,000 trolls, never once clogged his toilet. Here, I'm going to give a performative flush just because True Detective brings up a good comment. And I'm drinking toilet water right now. You like the little burp, the toilet burp, the right? I love it. But Bongino's back, right? Now, somebody tried to throw some shade at Bongino. Okay, let me show you what happened where somebody tried to go after Bongino. Okay, Bongino says, let me add this from the jump so there's no confusion. I started in this movement as a candidate during the Tea Party. I'm sure many of you remember Tea Party days, right? Says he began his political career. He starts talking about this. And then you have former Congressman Matt Gaetz that decided to get into the adult end of the swimming pool. He jumped in the deep end without his floaties. He asked Grok, when did Dan Bongino run for office and how did he perform as a candidate? Trying to throw a little shade at Dan Bongino. right? Bongino fires right back with a nuke. Maybe if I spent more time at shady parties with moneyed insiders, I would have won. I heard you'd know a bit about that. Damn. You've always been a dick, by the way, grifting off your daddy like a suckling little doggy. When I first met you in the panhandle of Florida, that's where I grew up, right in that area, I knew you were a piece of shit. His words, not mine. It's written all over the phony face of yours. These are all Bongino and Matt Gaetz going back and forth. I'm like, damn, this is like a fight, and you just want to go up behind one of the idiots and push them into the other one so dude gets dropped, right? Like somebody arguing with Mike Tyson, you just want to go up and push him, right? This is solid back and forth. Now, here we go. And then here's the memes. Holy shit, right? Damn. Now, Matt Gaetz, if you want Matt Gaetz to set you up like a phone call on your phone, you can. I like Matt Gaetz. I'm just pointing these out. $200, he'll do a phone call for you. You can get him to leave a voicemail.
Matt Gaetz, hope you're out there crushing the rhinos, the Lib Dems, the crazy socialists, the communists, the fascists out there. And you know what? They are too into this cancel culture.
For $200, he will call you and leave you a voicemail, like dedicated to you. Here we go. Here's the other one. This is old Macho Man Randy Savage level stuff, right? Top rope, elbow drop, top rope, elbow drop. That's Dan Bongino, right? And then first comment, Dan is back, LFG. I mean, this is where we're at, but it's the purity test. It is the purity test. Now, then it gets a little, here we go. Which are you? Team Matt, Team Dan? Let's do this. Let's do that for the poll. Let's do this. This would be a good poll right here. This is better than the kind Kamala got promoted using. Which are you? Okay, let's go. Team Bongino or Team Matt Gaetz? There we go. Tell me which team you're on right there. Vote on that in the chat and let that stink. I'm going to go Team Dan. 38% of people said Team Dan. 23% said neither. 7% didn't have the balls to even vote. Right? I mean, that's where we're at. That 7% of people didn't have the guts to even vote. Guys, the purity test shit is going to be the downfall of the Republican Party and conservatives. It's going to be the downfall because instead of arguing policy, they go after each other. And I could do it as well. And so could other people. It's not going to help anything. A lot of voters are feeling burned by past fighters who turned into careerists. I'll give you some names. Trey Gowdy, right? Trey Gowdy. Does that name sound familiar? Nikki Haley, sound familiar? They're both from South Carolina, which is odd. Marjorie Taylor Greene, she was a fighter. What's she going to be tomorrow after she starts cashing those retirement checks that start rolling in for the rest of her life, right? I liked Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't like what she's become. How about that? I think that's the easiest way for me to explain it. But I would love to get your opinion on things. And yeah, I was a little taken back by some of the comments because how dare I bring up the point that I believe Maduro's freedom would be worth the information from the voting machines. I would trade it in a second. I would trade any of you watching right now for the data from those voting machines. I know I would. I would sacrifice myself for that information. I would take one for the team to find out about the data from those voting machines, right? I mean, that's just me. I actually would give it up for that, right? Now, here's what we really can look at. This is a good one. This is a great explanation of what's going on. And then I'm going to show the poll. Vote in the poll. Are you Team Bongino or Team Matt Gaetz? We'll look at the poll after this. And if you want to take some phone calls and give me your opinions, we can do that. If you want to do phone calls, type the number 1 in the chat. If you don't give a shit about phone calls and you don't want to hear anybody opinion, type 2. 1 or 2.
About what the president's done in Venezuela?
Let me be very clear. There is no rift in the Republican Party. Yes, there are some folks like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Thomas Massie who are quite skeptical of this. They are very much in the minority. What are we talking about here? Well, why don't we just talk the GOP on the U.S. military ousting Maduro? Ipsos, 65% support, 6% opposed. How about the Washington Post poll? 74% support, just 10% opposed. If you look among 2024 Trump supporters, we're talking about 80% support. The vast, vast majority of Republicans are with Donald Trump on this issue. Massie and Marjorie Taylor Greene are very much in the minority. Very few Republicans are with him.
You say they're with him on this issue. Do you even need those words, this issue?
No, I don't need the words this issue, because the bottom line is this. Donald Trump has had an iron grip on that Republican base for a long period of time, and it is the same iron grip that he had 6 months ago. I know every so often people are trying to say, oh, I spot these little rifts in the Republican base. Oh, you know, they're finally starting to break. They're starting to break from Donald Trump. It ain't happening, at least when it comes to the approval rating. Look at this. 84% 6 months ago, 85% now. You don't have to be a mathematical genius to know 85% and 84% are basically the same number. In fact, 85% is 1 point higher than 84%.
You do not have to be Kamala Harris to understand that this was shown on CNN. Do you know how much this scares Democrats? This scares the shit out of Democrats. They tried to destroy Pete Hegseth. Does it all make sense now? And I thought of something the other day. You know, like one of those, it's like you're driving down the road in the truck. I got my Tom Petty radio on. Yeah, I'm a Sirius XM guy. If I'm not listening to Patriot Talk Radio with my boy David Webb is a personal friend of mine. I'll name drop. David Webb's a friend of mine. I will name drop. I don't care. Marine Corps vet too. Semper Fi. So I'm driving down the road. I got Tom Petty on, a little free falling. Actually, I think it was Cabin Down the Road was the song that was on. On a cabin down the road. Is it Cabin Down? Yeah, it's Cabin Down the Road. Great song. Go listen to it. Cabin Down the Road. I'm listening to Cabin Down the Road. I got the window down. I got my back window down. Fred's ears are flopping in the wind. Daisy's got her head out. I'm picking my nose. And I was like, the person that's in charge of the Secretary of War, I used to work for him, right? Literally, he was my boss. The person that found Saddam Hussein in the hole, friend of mine. He passed away. He took his own life, right? He had some demons he was dealing with. Retired Army colonel. Took his own life. His little group of people in a tank found Saddam in the hole. So Secretary of War just grabbed Maduro. I used to work for him. The guy's unit that grabbed Saddam Hussein, personal friend of mine. The guy that shot Osama bin Laden, a friend of mine. I've had a pretty good life whenever I can say that statement. That I know all of the people involved in that. The president that ordered the capture of Maduro, I've met and shook hands with the guy. I've got a challenge coin around here from him. I've lived a good life for a redneck kid from Lower Alabama, right? But the Democrat Party, when they see a poll showing that MAGA has got stronger, Republican Party, call it whatever you want. There's no Republican Party anymore. There is an America, there's a Make America Great Again party. There is a pro-America party. There's no Republican Party, and they know it. Without Donald Trump, the Republican Party is stale bread. It is dried up crap in the backyard. It turns all crusty white, right? And they know this because if you're watching CNN, which every raging Democrat does, they see that Trump got stronger. Damn. They see that Marco Rubio and JD Vance are getting along. That scares them. Which are you? Team Bongino. 90% of you are Team Bongino. Damn. I did not expect Team Bongino to get 90% of the vote. 90%. That's pretty good shit right there, guys. That is good. Whoa. Okay. I've got some other stuff I want to show you here. And I love exposing the news media. You know what? Let's do this. I want to do this real quick while we're on the topic, while everybody's hot and heavy in the chat. Let's do it. Let's go hot and heavy in the chat. Where did my overlays go? There we go. Right there. Overlays. Boom. 615-475-7864. Feel free to call in. Gig Loves Cats. Favorite show on YouTube. God bless America. Thank you, Gig Love Cats. That means a lot. We have to save our elections. Absolutely. I appreciate that. Cowboy Tex is up. Gig Love Cats. Gigi. I can't even read. Favorite show on YouTube. Sorry. I really appreciate that. It's very humbling for anyone to actually say that out loud because I am not for everyone. Let me grab this one. MWP. Talk to me, MWP. What you got, brother?
Mr. Dykes, got a question for you.
Bring it.
I saw you read my comment earlier on your video.
Yeah.
Now I just wanted to explain just a little bit real quick. Now, if this was all a setup,
okay,
don't you think that guy, even though to try to make it look good, don't you think he would have at least turned off his laptops and his desktops and got rid of all that evidence or some of that evidence just to lighten the load between him and his wife? I mean, when the report that we got now, again, taking what you said in your video, I took it to heart because you're probably right when you said that it could have been fixed because maybe he made it look like everybody left in a panic. So maybe they left all that stuff intentionally, but wouldn't you think they would try to get rid of, I mean, what was it, 15 tons of powdered cocaine?
That's a lot, isn't it? That's a lot of booger sugar. I mean, Hunter Biden couldn't even use that much on a weekend, right?
No, not even close. Oh, right. So, I mean, do you see where I'm coming from, sir?
Yeah, man, I'm telling you. I love what the United States military did. I believe so many things were perfectly aligned for it to happen that somebody on the inside, maybe one of Maduro's advisors, maybe his maid, his cook, his wife, somebody, there was some inside baseball there. And why wouldn't we believe? Because, I mean, I'm going to say this. I'm going to hang up on you. We got a little static there, MWP, but thank you for calling. Thank you. All of these leaders, all of these dictators, all of these horrible people, would you agree that they're narcissists? Would you agree that Hitler, Maduro, Hugo Chavez, Obama, I would even say Trump is probably a little bit of a narcissist, George Bush, Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, they're all narcissists. Would you agree with that? Right? Probably different degrees. But narcissists never like to be proven wrong. They never like to be taken against their will. And if they can frame it that they did it, that they were part of the decision making, And if you know someone is a narcissist, you can use it to your advantage. Hey, Maduro, you're going to give us everything we want. We're going to take everything we want, or you can give us everything we want. If we have to take it, you're not getting a deal. You're going to be in Leavenworth or the Supermax out in Colorado next to whoever's out, in the Supermax, right? You're going to be in the Supermax with all of those wackos. You get two choices. We take everything, you go to the Supermax, you give us everything, and we go lighter on you. Narcissists are easy to deal with if you know they're a narcissist. Lines are open. MWP, great comment. Great comment. Because everything lined up like a damn Jerry Bruckheimer film. Line 2, go. Where you called from, line 2? Turn the audio down in the background. Nope. Call back. I'll hang up on you. Call back. Turn the audio down in the background. I don't care where you're watching from. I can't do it. Really gives me bad feedback and I can't hear anything. Okay. So feel free to call back after your audio's fixed. Okay. I got no problem with that. Line 2. Talk to me. Line 2. Where you called from?
Yuma, Arizona.
Yuma. Talk to me, Yuma.
How you doing? Is this Ben?
It is. Yes, sir. Go.
Hey, Ben. I'm a Republican, lifelong. When I was a little kid, I was in a religious cult. We couldn't vote. We couldn't get involved in politics. Couldn't do the Pledge of Allegiance. Couldn't do nothing. But in the first grade, I voted for Nixon. And I couldn't believe all these white kids, I'm a Mexican, were trash-talking Nixon. I couldn't believe it. They were all backstabbers. It was real clear to me. It was real clear to me, even though I couldn't love my country because of the religion I was in. But so when I was older, I was able to get out, and I've been a lifelong Republican ever since. And I love the fighting that we have in the Republican Party. We fight it out. Pat Buchanan fighting George W. Bush, Ronald Reagan fighting Gerald Ford. I love it. It has to be in the primaries. But I tell all my friends, it ends after the primary. It ends. It ends. We are all on the same team.
I agree with you.
Matt Gaetz. There is no team Tucker Carlson no. We all pull the trigger red after the primary. Before that, we kill each other. Fine. But we're like Ronald Reagan said, you don't speak ill of no other Republican. It's all hands in.
Democrats will never criticize each other. Never. They won't. Democrats do not criticize each other.
No. They can rape everybody in the country. They won't even talk about it.
They do that. They literally do that. And they love it when conservatives and Republicans fight amongst each other. I look at it like this. I'm a Navy veteran. The Army, the Marines, the Air Force, the Coast Guard, Space Force. We can joke about each other, but I'll be damned if somebody else comes for one of them. You know what I mean? It's like,
yes, sir.
I can talk about my shitty sister-in-law, but you can't. You know what I mean? It's like that, right?
Yep.
I appreciate you calling, sir.
God bless you and all your listeners.
Thank you so much. God bless you. You take care. There we go. Great call. Great call. Yuma, Arizona. That was a great movie with Glenn Ford. 310 to Yuma. That was the original Glenn Ford movie. Glenn Ford. And I think Glenn Ford was retired military. Go ahead. Line 2. What you got?
Hey, Ben. Good evening.
Good evening. Where you calling from?
Ben.
What's your name?
I'm calling from the communist state of Virginia.
Virginia. Talk to me.
We're fixing to go full communist here any day now. And guess what? Our new governor, what they got planned, it's gun control. They're going to do assault weapons ban. But anyway, Ben, I enjoy your show, man. You're the new media. You do an excellent job. I'm just sitting here looking at you. I hadn't watched a regular news broadcast in 2 years. I swear.
That's a hell of a compliment.
I got a point I want to make.
Go right ahead.
I watched Maduro when he was arrested and being brought in, to perk walk in handcuffs. He gave a thumbs up. The expression on his face was not of someone that looked like he was, oh gosh, what have I done? It looked like somebody that was relieved. I do believe that the Democrats are terrified that he's in custody, that Trump has him, because I think he's going to work with Trump to give up, the Dominion and Smartmatic voting machines and all that stuff. The other thing is, Maduro's top intelligence guy, his super spy, he's been locked up in America for several years now. And he's been putting out stuff, and Trump and them are talking to him now because he's given up a lot of names. And tonight I seen that Rand Paul and Thomas Massey, had took money from Maduro. I don't know whether that's real or not, but they say it is. That he had, the list of names that he was giving money to. Then when you look what Rand Paul was saying, I seen tonight they showed back December the 4th and earlier talking about Trump. He's against going after the drug boats and that kind of stuff.
Well, thank you for calling, sir.
Sense.
Thank you for calling. I really appreciate you. You made some great points. Great points. Hell of a compliment. I appreciate you.
One other
yes, sir.
thing, real quick. Why don't you and Doug in Exile and Neil and Cunningham, why don't y'all get together and do one of those things like I see some of the other YouTubers do once a week or something like that?
You know what?
I will some topics.
I will send Neil and Doug a text message after this live stream, and I will absolutely invite them. Absolutely.
But you know what? Because I follow them.
Yeah, they're great guys. I watch their channels. I'm going to let you go and grab some other callers. You take care. Stay out of trouble there. Great call out of Virginia. I got a poll in the chat. Man, great caller. Great caller. Very well informed. To not watch the news, very well informed. It's probably why he's informed. Will Maduro give up the Democrats for his pardon? In the previous poll, 59% of people said that Maduro was not involved with the raid. I just have a personal opinion that Maduro is so worried about his own self-preservation, he knew he could not avoid what was coming, and I think he wanted to make it the most comfortable for him. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. I still have to look at the damn phone number to see what the phone number is. Let's go here. Line 2, where are you calling from? Line 2, what you got?
Yeah, I'm from Texas.
Texas, talk to me, Texas.
All right, you're one of the best guys I ever talked to. I'm active Texas State Guard, and I'm going to tell you right now, don't care about anybody's opinions. I'm just like you. You keep that up.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. You know, I think it's crazy that we try to set standards on people that we agree with, or we try to hold them. It's a purity test. I'm more conservative than you. No, I'm more conservative. No, I am. It's nothing. It's not doing the movement any good, is it?
No. This is the way it works with them. And then this is the way I see them. All right.
Okay.
They're just no different than a HOA Karen.
Oh, you're right.
They want their ego stroked, and if you don't stroke it right, then you're not MAGA to them. But let me tell you what you need to start telling these people is that they can drag up and sit there and kiss a liberal's butt because they act just like a liberal when they do that. That's the way my opinion is on them.
I think you're really right. I think you're absolutely right. Now, let me ask you this quick question. You said you're military, National Guard, right?
State Guard.
State Guard, sorry. How many operations have you ever been on that everything was perfect?
100% never.
Me either. I have never done anything, especially when I was in the military on a submarine, where everything went perfect. And what happened down in Nicaragua, I love that. I love what happened. I love the result. I love that the military was flawless. But I'm not a bad guy for questioning that. I think Maduro and in his own self-preservation helped it be perfect. That's just my opinion.
Well, I can tell you right now, no matter what the media does or does not know about, and you know from military operations, whether it be an FTX or any kind of training operation to anything, any contingency plan they had to use.
Mm-hmm.
There is from I went to Kerrville. I've been Burrell. I've been on every disaster in the last 3 years. Even the tornadoes, I chased all the tornadoes all the way up to Denton and killed all those people. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, there is no perfect plan, and I don't care what all these lip turds is what I call them or whatever you want to call them. It doesn't matter if the plan goes right or wrong. It doesn't matter to them. But I'm going to tell you right now, even that thing with Maduro and the operations down there and the SF guys down there, I guarantee you some shit went down that didn't happen the way they wanted it to go. But those guys had the contingency plans just because in the military, you always have plan B, C, and D.
I'm going to let you go. I really appreciate you calling, sir. Thank you so much.
All right. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. So I had to flush somebody named Chaz. I had to flush Chaz. He was just a raging lunatic. Go cry. Tell mommy to get you a Hot Pocket, Chaz. And go dilate. There you go. Chaz has got to dilate. Chaz has got to dilate. Chaz, I hope you're dilating with a sandpaper roll. Maduro's son is missing. Secretly on his way here. I believe that. Somebody sent an image of Diddy and Maduro getting the weave on. Chaz needs a flush. He's gone. Chaz can suck it. Right. Chaz can suck it. Will Maduro give up the Democrats for his pardon? 92% of people say yes. I agree. Now, what I'm going to show you here, and Stephen A. Smith stuns his audience. Now, Trump put the original $15 million bounty on Maduro. Biden raised it to $25 million. And I want to share this bit of information first. I think Biden raised it to $25 million in hopes that someone would kill Maduro, because then all the evidence, then all the information for voters, machines, Smartmatic, and Dominion die with him. Right? That's what I believe. And I believe Trump wanted to capture him because he's more valuable alive. And the information that he's going to sing like a canary, and I had the canary playing, and I think this is a great clip of Stephen Smith. I don't like Stephen Smith on multiple things. On this one, I agree.
My position is one of questions, and I get myself in trouble asking questions, but I'm never going to stop because my nature as a journalist is to ask questions. When I think about the United States and I think about our government in the nation's capital, I need somebody to make it make sense for me. Didn't Trump originally put a $15 million bounty on Nicolas Maduro's head?
Yes.
In his first term in office? The answer to that would be yes. Didn't President Joe Biden in 2025, before leaving office, put a $25 million bounty on Nicolas Maduro's head?
Why would he do that? Why would Biden do that unless the stakes were raised? Unless Maduro's information, it got more valuable. What Maduro knows got more valuable. I think it did. Cowboy Up Texas. It didn't go as planned. They took anti-aircraft on 2 helos. Okay, gotcha. I agree. Fetterman is the only reasonable Democrat at this point. I'd drink a beer with that man any of the day of the week. I don't know. Fetterman has gotten better. I've got Democrat friends and I still have beers with them. I think Fetterman's waking up. I think Fetterman's waking up. I think Biden, or whoever was in charge of Biden, realized how valuable. Yeah, it was after the election. Did you catch that? Biden put the increased bounty after the election, right before rolling out, because he didn't want Maduro ever coming to the United States and talking. Let's go here. Line 2, you're on the show with Ben Dykes. What would you like to say? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Northeast Louisiana. How are you, Ben?
I am doing amazing. I got some family down there. I got some good coon-ass family down in Houma, like around Lake Pontchartrain. So talk to me. What would you like to say?
Oh, okay. We're way north of Lake Pontchartrain, so.
Gotcha.
Anyways, I love your show.
Appreciate it.
You're amazing. I hear so much more news from you than I do the mainstream media.
That's a hell of a compliment. Thank you so much. What would you like to say tonight?
I would like to say that whatever Trump is doing is amazing. I think that our country is going to explode in the next year to 2 years.
I agree with you. I think the only thing that slows us down is ourselves. That's the only thing that slows us down.
I agree with that. I agree with that fully.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I do.
The only thing that stops us is us.
My husband is 10-year Navy, and I can tell you, our military is above and beyond most any country in this world.
Absolutely. Well, you tell your husband thank you for his service and appreciate you calling. You take care. Have a great night.
Okay, thank you very much.
There we go. Great call. Great call. I think Fred might have cut her off by accident. Bad choice of words, though. Yeah, I like all of these people on different things. I don't have to agree with anybody all the time. I don't have to agree with anyone all the time. I mean, they're even calling out Ivan Raiklin for being a fraud because he's so anti Dan Bongino. Look at this. Ivan Raiklin. A lot of people like this guy. Now that real Donald Trump has fired Dan Bongino for not going after the deep state, will Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche and Pam Bondi be next? By the way, what happened to FBI response? Kind of backfired, didn't it? I mean, this is kind of a horrible look for these people to do this, right? I think it's a kind of a horrible look. Hold on just a second. Let me mute this. I hope none of you could read lips on what conversation I was asking, right? Or being asked. I was being interrogated. I was literally being interrogated. What do you think about Ivan Raiklin? Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Ivan Raiklin, now that real Donald Trump has fired Dan Bongino. Look at that. What a low, low level. Line 2, go line 2. Talk to me. What you got? Hello, line 2.
Hello?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Oh, good evening to you, Ben. My name's Trudy. Happy New Year. I'm phoning from Australia.
Australia? No shit.
Yes, I just rang to say that I follow everything to do with American politics and yourself and President Trump, and I send all my love to you, and I just can't thank you all enough for what you're doing, and you know, God bless to you.
Well, Trudy in Australia, that is absolutely amazing. I've had a couple of phone calls from Australia. What part of Australia are you in? Where in Australia are you?
I'm outside of Sydney, in Western Sydney, in the beautiful national park, the Blue Mountains.
Blue Mountains of Australia. Well, that sounds fantastic. Yeah. I really appreciate you calling. That means the absolute world to me. And it's tomorrow where you're at, right? I got a picture here of the Blue Mountains up right now. Wow, that is beautiful. Absolutely
yes, it is beautiful.
Stunning.
Now and I'm an artist, so it's a great place to be.
Now, Trudy, we have something very similar to what I'm showing right here in Arkansas. Mm-hmm. and it's called, hold on, let me pull it up. Let me see if I can find this. It's called, blah, blah, blah. Hold on just a second. Let me pull this up real quick. It's called, let me see, Arkansas Craig's Head. Let me see if I can pull this up. We have a very similar, very, very similar. It's called Hawksbill Crag, actually. Let me see if I can pull this up and show you what this is. Hawksbill Crag.
Oh, wow.
And it is not very far from where I live, and it looks eerily similar to what let me pull this back up on the screen.
Doesn't it? It really does with the color rock and the formation. Yes.
Yeah. So that's Hawksbill Crag. And then here's your Blue Mountains. Very interesting there. Thank you for calling, Trudy. You're absolutely the best. I don't care what any of your liberal Australian neighbors say about you. Look at this.
Yeah, I wish Trump would buy Australia at the moment.
Look at this. This is a nighttime photo of Hawksbill Crag with the full moon sticking out there. Look at that. Beautiful.
Wow.
Trudy, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to say thank you so much. And I think whenever I get off of here, I'm going to listen to the song from the Land Down Under. I'm going to listen to that by Africa. Thank you so much.
Oh, lovely. God bless. Bye-bye.
God bless you, Trudy. Thank you for calling. Trudy in Australia. Man, what a great... I would never have the opportunity to talk to somebody from Australia. Let me get these lines back open. There's a lot of people trying to get through, and I am very sorry. But there's just some people you got to make some time for. And that's beautiful. That is beautiful. That's magical. Let's go here. Line 2, go. Where are you calling from?
Hey, I'm calling from Terre Haute, Indiana.
Terre Haute, Indiana. What would you like to say, sir?
I love it here. But anyway, I served in 87 and 88 at Fort Bragg.
Okay.
In the 82nd Airborne, the 2nd and the 505th.
Okay.
And let's just say that I was sent to South America, and I think October, after we had done Operation Golden Pheasant in March.
Okay.
And it's funny that back then that there was a connection between Nicaragua and the Sandinistas in Iran.
Right.
If you remember, we were supplying arms to the Contra, but we were also supplying arms to Iraq to keep Iran at bay, and Iran was involved down there with Nicaragua. So it's funny now that with Maduro that you have Iran in the middle of that as well. Now, they seem to find their way into South America.
And it's
agree?
1,000%. It's the Wild West down there. You've been there. It's the Wild West.
Yeah. Well, and the thing was, you were talking about operations, okay?
Okay.
When you take something, and then there's buildings that you have to clear out, and it's at night. You've got night vision. I'm 20 years old. I'm scared to death, and I'm trying to do the right thing. We're trying not to shoot each other. So these operations, it doesn't matter. We trained our asses off, and still, nothing was perfect about it. If that
absolutely
makes sense,
right. Absolutely. Well, I want to say thank you for your service. I really appreciate you. One of the sponsors on the channel, and I'm actually a very minor investor in it. It's called Level 3 Coffee. It's a retired First Sergeant Green Beret. He started a coffee company, and I've been helping him. So check that out. The link's down in the description. It's called Level 3.
I just wanted to let you know that you do a great job with your show.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. I think what I get wrong, I make up for with my passion and my love for America. I'm never always right.
I love you. You just have this wit where they can clean my zipper off and just all these different things that you say.
Well, I appreciate you, brother. You take care. Go Navy, beat Army. I appreciate you. God bless you. God bless the United States Army. Great call. Great call. Let's grab some more calls, man. There's a lot of people want to get through. I see the phone lines are lit up. Would you trade Maduro's freedom for the Smartmatic machine data? 2/3 of people said yes. Let's go here. Tommy, the guitar man. What you got to say, Tommy?
Hey, man. Hey, everybody.
What's
How you
going?
doing?
Great, Tommy. What would you like to say?
Hey, can you hear this at all?
Sounds like Ted Nugent's at your house.
Probably not.
Sounds like Ted Nugent was there.
Ah! Hey, listen. I think Trump will do the big trade, and it's okay with me. Get another 4 years for Maduro to go somewhere far, far away and never be heard from again.
Tommy, let me ask you this. Just a quick question.
Yo.
When you were flying, you used to do a lot of flying. You were a pilot.
Yes.
Everything wasn't perfect. There was always problems, wasn't there?
Every single flight. The people have no idea the abnormalities on a regular basis.
And if things are too perfect, that's when I get worried. Tommy, you take care. I appreciate you, brother. Give us a riff. Give us a little aqua lung. Can you do some aqua lung? There you go. That's Tommy the guitar man calling in with his Les Paul. Tommy the guitar man with the Les Paul. Ted Nugent's a great guitarist. Maybe not my favorite. I love Ted. I've met Ted. I love Ted. I love Ted Nugent. Stranglehold, one of my favorite songs. But I'm going to tell you right now, in my opinion, just my opinion, and I want to ask the chat. I'm going to ask the chat while he's talking. Line 2, go.
Hey, Tommy the guitar guy. Oh my God, he's badass.
He
That
is.
was badass. I'm sorry, I'm getting some weird feedback in my head right now.
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Southern California.
Okay, Southern California. What would you like to say?
About the people, the conservatives that are like arguing and stuff. I learned a lot of information from many of them. I listened to a lot of different platforms.
Okay.
And I get good information, including, leftist channels, because I always need to keep up with what they're doing.
I watch a
gotta
lot of
listen to
liberals.
their verbiage.
Mm-hmm.
Because it keeps me up to date on what they're doing, because I need to know that too. I don't listen to them to feed into it. I just listen to make sure, where are they at? And and it helps me see them for who they are. But I research everything to verify information. You know what I mean? You have to do that. But as far as the drama, I happen to help out on a couple of channels myself. I moderate.
Sure.
And I don't care about the drama. I try to stay out of that garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't care. If it has nothing to do with the USA being better, then I don't care. I know some people know a lot about other people and they want to put it out there because they're upset or whatever the case is. And that's okay. That's fine. They do your thing, whatever. I don't really care. But I just, I think they need to stop and focus on what we're really doing, because it's tearing a lot of people apart, because you do have the people that are, all about the drama and they want to get into it. And then all of a sudden it takes us off track. So I think the drama part is just, it's no good. Give us information that we can use and share, and that I have a problem with that. But as far as like a whole bunch of different channels I listen to, I get the good information that I need. It's like food. So I get the information I need. I look it up, make sure it's all correct, and they're not BSing us. But as far as you're this, you're that, and all that can go. I don't care.
Well, I appreciate you calling. You take care. Thank you so much. Great call. I see a lot of people chiming in with who they think's the greatest guitarist. I think Roy Clark's one of the greatest. Rob O'Neill. I know Rob O'Neill personally. Rob O'Neill posted this on X. There needs to be an immediate investigation to find out if anyone in the Democrat Party has ties to the United States. I got to give Rob a boom shakalaka.
Amen. Hallelujah. And a boom shakalaka.
I got to give him a boom shakalaka on that. Line 2, go. Where are you calling from? What's your name?
My name is Gary Fish.
Gary, you got audio in the background. I can't deal with the feedback. You got to turn that shit down.
It's off.
All right. What do you got to say, Gary?
This thing with Bongino is a little disconcerting. I feel that he's going to have NDAs up the ass.
You think he'll be limited on what he can say?
I think he will be. I kind of want to give him a chance, though.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think Bongino would just come out and start shitting on the administration?
No.
Okay. I don't think he would either.
I want him to shit on the deep state.
I think Dan Bongino went in, and somebody said Jerry Reed's a great guitarist. Absolutely. I think Bongino went into the administration and didn't understand the level of corruption that was behind or under or beneath and fighting against Donald Trump on a daily basis. And I think now that he knows that, he's going to have a completely different approach. I think he has a different approach. That's just my opinion.
I think you might be right, but I'm willing to give him a chance.
To me, I don't know if Bongino has to. I don't think Bongino has to explain himself to me. He doesn't have to explain himself to me. There's going to be a lot of people that want an explanation from Bongino of why did you leave? Why did you do this? Why didn't you do that? Why weren't you able to do this? I don't think Bongino owes anyone. I don't think he owes anyone anything. But I'll say this. Bongino is going to be a changed man tomorrow whenever he does come out and start dropping some knowledge. I think he will. He's going to have a different perspective without a shadow of a doubt.
Cutesy time will definitely be over.
Yeah, it's time to get ugly. It's time to get ugly. You take care, brother. I appreciate you. Great call. Somebody just said no greater guitar player than the slow hand himself, Eric Clapton. Now, I've got a 0028 Martin, that small size of Martin that Eric Clapton plays. And Eric Clapton, great guitarist. Tragic what happened to his son. I believe it was his son. Like people in this chat. Yeah. Evening, Ben and all. We got a lot of good comments coming in. Let's grab some more calls here. What do you think about Rob O'Neill's comment there on X? There needs to be an immediate investigation to find out if anyone in the Democrat Party has ties to the United States. Rob. That is exactly the kind of comment that we need. That's exactly what we need. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Feel free to give me a call. I'd love to talk to you. Love to get your opinion. You can express your frustrations. You can do whatever you want. Let's talk to it. Dana, San Diego. We got some logic coming out of California, which is rare as rocking horse shit. Go ahead, Dana.
Hey there. So the thing is, you are very straightforward. Your delivery of information and your opinions, it's always very raw, right? And you're definitely not politically correct in your delivery.
Never.
But the thing about you is you do wear your emotions on your sleeve. So
Absolutely.
Every once in a while, like you'll ask us, tell me what you think. And every blue moon will tell you. And then you kind of get mad. So I'm wondering if that's what happened, because you seem surprised that you got some negative comment today about, your video on your take about the Venezuela strikes and Maduro's capture. And so here's the thing for people who didn't have time to see the video. And I just wrote this down because I want to quote you properly.
Sure.
So I was surprised by your comments because you said, was this operation too perfect, too clean, too flawless? Some would say too Hollywood. I've got one question for you. Was this really a capture, or was it a plan? Was this the art of the deal on the world stage? Was this a quiet agreement dressed up like a takedown? So many things here that statistically can't add up this often unless there was dealings behind closed doors. So after I watched your video, to be honest, I said to myself, okay, that's a little confusing. He doesn't sound like the Ben I know. I wasn't thrilled with the video because your commentary seemed more suspicious than curious. And like you were flip-flopping from being supportive previously, having questions is one thing, but you expressed a lot of doubt, which is concerning for me as a Republican and conservative, because Republicans will have major, major challenges in the upcoming elections. And two are, we don't have enough Republicans always voting and Democrats possibly cheating. So it makes me nervous that a solid conservative like you asks, was this really a capture?
Let me ask you this.
I was confused.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
What gains more support for the Republican Party? An extravagant extraction or a deal?
So, explain. Explain.
This extravagant extraction, this made for Hollywood operation, that is the stuff that brings patriotic blood. Just everybody is patriotic. If it came out that Marco Rubio just picked up the phone and made a deal and said, hey, if you don't turn yourself in, we're going to do this. It doesn't sound as interesting, does it?
Well, definitely not. But I guess I hear your point. But I guess my point is that you seem surprised that you got negative comments. The thing is, I love you. Okay, I love your
I'm
content,
not surprised.
I love your personality. So for me to be surprised and say, "Oh, that didn't really sound like Ben," we have the midterms coming up, and it just sounded a little flip-floppy. But I don't think you meant to sound that way.
Not at all. I'm as patriotic as anyone. But I will tell you this. It's almost like I'm in a lane. I'm allowed to stay in this lane. And if I venture over and question anything, it's like, you're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to shop down that aisle at the grocery store. But I question everything. Everything. I appreciate you calling, Dana. You're the best.
I get that. And questioning is fine, and being curious, because I'll be totally honest with you. I actually also wondered, well, wait a minute. He was just captured and he is smiling, giving thumbs up in a picture. Now that hit me really weird. I said, that's a little too interesting. And I also thought, okay, if he's this incredibly evil dictator, what kind of security did he have, and how were we able to do this so quickly, so clean with the supposed security that he did?
Even the wife,
have.
Even the wife
too. I'm just like you, but I guess you seemed like you were flipping a little bit. And,
I'm not flipping.
Too doubtful. But,
I'm not flipping.
I know you didn't mean to sound disrespectful of our military. It's just how you sounded. You can question. I get that.
I am not flipping, but there's just too many things that are perfect. Just perfect. It is Jason Bourne. It is Ethan Hunt. It is James Bond. It is Man from U.N.C.L.E. It is so perfect. But I'll tell you this. I'll trade it all for the information for the voting machines. I'll trade every damn bit of it.
I agree. And you know what? One comment about that Smartmatic voting machine and the technology that they use can actually just crush our U.S. elections. They might have already been used here previously, but the main purpose of those machines, as many of us are learning, is to erase Republican votes and ensure communist rule.
Perfect.
So that's scary.
Dana,
stuff.
I'm going to
So
let you go.
For that one reason alone, I totally agree with us going in there and doing our thing. And also Maduro, he's going to rat, hopefully, on Democrats involved in the Smartmatic situation.
Dana, I'm going to hang up on you right now. I got to let you go. I got some other lines open, okay? Appreciate you.
Yeah, sure.
Great call. Great call. I I think if anybody says I'm flipping, they don't know me. I'm not flipping, but I will question the shit out of everything. I will question everything. Yeah, I think there were some people that probably read too much. I saw that. Let me see here. I saw that. Let me see. What does that one say? America's still in terrible. Stop voting machines. I agree. Let me see here. I saw some other calls here, or some other text as somebody saying flush. I mean, I will flush anybody too. It doesn't matter. I'd flush not my grandmother. I would flush a lot of people. Let's go, Carrie in Ohio. What do you got, Carrie?
Ben, how you been? I haven't talked to you for a while.
Amazing. What you got, Carrie? What would you like to talk about tonight?
I think that last caller, I'm sorry to say, I think she had the feather up her butt the wrong way because, we don't send our best to go do a Hollywood picture. I'm just telling you that now. They sent the best in because they had a job to do. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I agree. I completely agree. Carrie, let me ask you this. Do you care? Do you care how we got Maduro if we get the voting machine data?
Absolutely not.
I don't either. I don't either. And to me, that is more important than Maduro himself.
Maduro was a big bully. He did a lot of wrong. He's going to definitely pay his dues. He'll never get out. Believe that. They'll never let him go. But he has a lot more. And I'm surprised that they're holding the same place they held Epstein because people do get X'd out up that way. But I think that he has a lot more to say about a lot more than what people want to hear.
Let me ask you this. The other thing that makes me question some stuff, they got the wife. They got the wife. I mean, it's like, to me, that's like, hey, we take care of her. I think Maduro's like, okay, you got me. But if you take care of my wife, I'll give you whatever you want. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. For a person that would say that, I love my wife, I'd do anything in the world for her, but we don't know how Maduro feels about that lady. He it might be another thing.
I agree. I appreciate you, brother. You take care, Carrie. Have a great night.
You take care, man. You too.
God bless you. God bless Ohio. They're going to have some battles up there. Dana's great. Love her perspective. Absolutely. I like a different perspective. I have no question with a different opinion. None whatsoever. I will push back, but I respect your opinion. Line 2, go.
Man, George Richo, California.
George, talk to me.
How did the Democrats come up with so many signs 4 hours after the operation?
Oh, George, you know better than this. You know that this is all arranged. All arranged. I believe the name of the organization is called Answer. It's an organization that basically, they actually provide protesters. Let me see if I can find that. It's called, there's an actual organization. It's called Answer, and they provide all the signs. If you notice, all the signs are always yellow, right? I'm going to bring it up right here. I've got it right here. I wasn't prepared to have this up. AnswerCoalition.org. You can see that little sign there. AnswerCoalition.org. Let me see what else I can pull up here. Answer Coalition. But this is, I will say this. They're better at it than us. They are better. Here it is. Answer Coalition. They are better at these games than we are, George. And it's not saying that Republicans are bad or conservatives are bad. It's just Democrats are better at funny business. They're better at manipulative shit.
Yeah, they can throw that money away left and right, I tell you.
And George Soros and his son, I mean, it just makes sense, right? And now there's photos coming out of Mark Kelly with Alex Soros. I don't know if you saw that. So that should all make sense as well, I mean, it should all make sense. I appreciate you calling, George.
They're like the same printing company that prints for the Super Bowl. They win. Both teams win.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Who gets to wear the hat?
You're absolutely right, brother. It's all WW. Oh, here we go. Mark Kelly with Alex Soros, and Huma Abedin, which used to be, a lot of people would say, Hillary's lover. So there you go. And
Oh, my
now
God,
she's
it's crazy.
married.
Thank you, Dan.
Huma Abedin is married to Alex Soros. Take care, George. I appreciate you calling. God bless you. God bless California. Good luck in California with what's going on there. Good luck. I hope y'all get a good governor. A good governor down there. Here's let me see if I can pull this up. Wait, let me see here. Wait, how do I do that? Let me see here. That was I don't know how to do this. Okay. Well, anyway, we'll get back to some calls. 615-475-7864. If you have a question, comment, concern, or cuss word, bring the heat. Where are you calling from? Line 2. What you got?
Hey, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. What would you like to say, brother?
Yeah, Maduro.
Okay. What would you like?
You got to know that his wife is the key to everything.
I think the wife could very well be the key. I think he would do, why wouldn't he, right? Why wouldn't he give up a lot?
Think about it. If it was your wife, you don't want her going to jail.
No, of course not. I mean, unless if I was married to Rosie O'Donnell, I'm like, look, sorry, bitch. Yeah. I'm like, sorry, you're on your own, Rosie. You know what I mean?
One of them old timers, what the hell's that guy, that comedian that said you can have her?
Absolutely. Let me ask you this. Would you, I've been asking everybody, would you trade Maduro and his wife's freedom for the information from the 2020 Smartmatic stuff?
Maduro isn't going nowhere.
He's not. Okay.
He's got to do jail.
Okay.
He's got to do jail. He killed people.
You think he will, you think he'll go to a nice little cushy prison like Ghislaine Maxwell?
He'll do a federal prison. There's no doubt about that. His wife will get released. If they release him, he's just going to go to Colombia, and there's just going to be, or Cuba. It's just going to be another fucking problem. Excuse my language.
Absolutely. I agree with you, brother. You take care. Thank you for calling. God bless you.
You bet.
Great call. So here is this organization called Answer Coalition. They're the ones that make all the signs. They provide all the signs. Look at that. So the raid happened on like a Sunday morning, 2 a.m. By 2 p.m., they already had rallies ready. Does it make sense now? And look, you can volunteer. You can sign up. Let's volunteer, right? Fred, you better chill out. Fred's getting frisky in there. I might have to whoop his butt. Nah, I can't lay hands on Fred. He's too old and he's my best friend. But you can sign up on this coalition thing and look at all all these sanctuary cities: Albuquerque, Boston, Chicago, Connecticut, Indianapolis, Los Angeles, New York City. I mean, look at them. This is great. I'm sure we got a lot of people watching from the Answer Coalition tonight. There we go. Seattle, San Francisco. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Feel free to give me a call. That caller that called in before had it all written down. Good intentions. Great call. Great comment, actually. Let's see here. He wanted to be caught. So does this guy. Maybe so. Let's go here. Where are you calling from? And line 2. What you got?
Hey, Don.
Yes, sir.
From Michigan.
Michigan. What you got to say, Michigan?
Well, I wanted to make a comment about 2 callers tonight. The female that was making comments about our teams going in and doing their job, and the other guy was talking about that. And my wife is a nurse.
Okay.
And when we talk about war, I say, it's not just a women thing. It's, you're a healer. So you'll never understand the concept of hurting somebody. So I just wanted to come to her defense, I know to women it's brutal to see a human being all blown up, and it's not a pretty picture, but that's kind of our job. It's been our job since the beginning of time to be the soldiers. We get it. They're the healers, and we go to them for comfort, and they come to us for protection. Thanks for taking my call.
I agree with you because my wife is a healthcare provider. She was an ER or emergency room nurse for 20 years. she always sees the good in everyone. Everyone. Even when I'm like giving them the middle finger, when I'm giving them the double bird, she's like, oh, she always sees the good in them. Always. And you're absolutely right.
There's nothing like the comfort of a child running into the safety of a mother's arms, you know?
Let me ask you this. I want to understand, because I think if I was Maduro and I knew that they were coming for me, and he knew it, because there's the Gulf of America is full of the United States Navy. 30% of the naval fleet is there. They're taking out your boats. They're taking out all of your supplies. They're taking your ships with oil. The only logical next step is they're coming for you. Do you fight it, or do you save you and your wife? I mean, what do you do, right?
Well, options information given to me on short notice, I would say I'm surrounded. There's no reason, there's no point in fleeing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and if we have to go through rough terrain to try to escape, and who knows, I mean, you're talking Venezuela, if they start running through the jungles, they might get taken out by anacondas or something. So, no, we're not going to go running through the jungles to escape. You know, we might as well just give up. We're surrounded.
Well,
we are surrounded by the strongest military force on the planet. How can he's smart enough to know not to fight against that? I'm surrounded by the United States military. I might as well just, sit here and wait for him, come and get me.
Well,
that's what I'd do.
The other thing is,
if I was surrounded by the United States military, I wouldn't move a muscle.
well, I'm going to let you go.
Why run? So
Absolutely. Appreciate you calling. Running through the jungle. I forgot who sang that song. The other thing is, the other big question is, Maduro's own people wouldn't defend him. Hold on a second. I got to do something. Daisy took Fred's spot on the couch. And he's whining because Daisy took his spot. He always sits on the far right of the couch. That's his spot. Daisy has moved to the far right end of the couch, and Fred is crying like Diddy at a baby oil party. It's amazing. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Really appreciate you tonight. Feel free to give me a call. Let's grab right here, new caller, line 2. Where are you calling from?
Chehalis, Washington.
Chehalis, talk to me.
Yep, Chehalis. Hey, Ben, I had a thought today that Donald Trump, he should give you YouTubers and independent reporters a special 10, 15% tax credits on your taxes for all the hard work you guys do.
Shit, I wish. Good grief, man. I would love it. I don't know if you know what? I do this as a hobby, and I do it to keep me from yelling at my TV. And the other reason I do it is because of the relationships of the people that I've made through this channel, just talking to people on the channel. That's why I do it. I don't make a whole lot of money on the channel. A lot of it I use to help veterans with service dogs. And, I do it out of a passion. I'm never going to get famous. I'm never going to get big. I'm never going to get rich because I think I don't play by the rules maybe, but I appreciate you calling, brother.
All right. Have a good night.
You take care. Thank you so much. What a great call. Chehalis, he calls all the time. I don't know if y'all saw this or not. I put up some old signs back there. You see I picked these up at a antique at a yard sale. I saw a comment there. Let's see. Have you seen this one? Look at that. You want some Newports? G-Dub, if you're in the chat, there you go. Newports. Alive with pleasure. Newport. I got another good one here too. Check this one out. Thermometer. Winston tastes good like a cigarette should. You like that one? Hold up. I don't know if you can find the naked lady on here. I don't know if you can find the naked lady. Camels have a real cigarette thermometer with the thermometer in there, with the thermometer, with the mercury and everything. What do you think about that? Right? What do you think about that one? Somebody was asking about that in the chat. You're definitely getting famous. Adeline, I get recognized at Sam's Club when I buy dog food. That's what I do. Love the new, what does that say? Hold on, let me see here. Hey, Ben in chat, love the new style. Great all the way around with the show. Thank you, Almost Heaven. Line 2, go. Turn that audio down in the background.
Okay.
What you
Can hear
got?
me now?
Yes, sir. Where are you calling from? What's your name?
Randy from Albany, Georgia.
Albany, Georgia. Talk to me. What would you like to say?
I've got a comment and a couple of questions. I would like to know, when did all the Democrats become so dumb when it looks like that Fetterman is the best one out there? I never thought I'd say that. And whatever happened to Sidney Powell? I haven't heard anything from her in a long time.
You know, Sidney Powell, now the first question about Fetterman. I don't know if Fetterman's really smart, but I think the Democrats have set the bar so low that it's not hard to look like a freaking rocket scientist, right? If you walk into a room, it's like, I hate to use this example, but let's just go here. If Carl Lewis walked into the Special Olympics, he's going to look amazing even at probably 60 years old, right? I mean, that's just the way it is. And that's the way it is right now. It's not that Fetterman is this genius or this elite level thinker, but he's in a room of retards. I mean, he is in a room full of window lickers. They have hockey helmets and drool trays, and they are blowing slobber bubbles because it's not long ago that they were praying, no kings, no kings. And now they're actively supporting a freaking dictator that has killed millions of Americans through his drugs. I mean, it's ridiculous that is how low the Democrat Party has gone. And I'll say this. I don't know if that's the worst part. I think maybe the worst part is that there are old school, old blue dog Democrats that don't recognize it. And they still continue to hold on to that Democrat Party. It's not the same Democrat Party that my grandfather was part of or my dad was part of. It's different. It's not the same Democrat Party. You know, that's just my thoughts. What's your take on that? Maybe I'm a retard.
It just seems they've just got so stupid, and they have no common sense to me. And he just seems like he's got the most sense of any of them anymore.
And let me ask you this. You can't talk to them. You can't argue with a Democrat. You really can't. You cannot argue with a Democrat. Brother, I appreciate you calling.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Yes, sir. Have a great night. Now, he brought up Sidney Powell. Let me bring up Sidney Powell's X page. Sidney Powell, author of License to Lie, Exposing Corruption in the DOJ. She just posted this 7 hours ago. Newsflash, we the people are the real Kraken. Great work. Nick Sorter, Nick Shirley, Data Republican, Andy Go, Cat Turd, John Rich, Benny Johnson, James O'Keefe, and Amuse. And this is just a small few of those of you working for truth, honesty, and freedom. So Sidney Powell is active. Sidney Powell is active. Let's go here. Sidney Powell posted 6 hours ago. There is holy shit. Holy freaking shit. She just posted. There is a reason Venezuela was not free until today. Here is Barack Obama warmly greeting Hugo Chavez while his successor, his vice president, Nicolas Maduro, looks on. Wow, what a great question that brought up. I'm following Sydney now on X. I'm following Sydney on X. Okay. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Feel free to give me a call. Damn, Sidney Powell is back on the world's stage. Here she is right here talking about the SAVE Act, where we can only have Americans voting in our systems. Wow. Sidney Powell's back. She's going to be vindicated. She's going to be able to say, I told you so. Let's go here. Line 2. Where you call from? Line 2. What you got?
What's up, dude?
What you got, line 2?
Jason, see,
Yes, sir. What would you like to say?
I'm worried about the January 6th shit. I mean, I want to see somebody held accountable.
You know, the White House just came out with a whole bunch of information about J6. They just
man.
They just dropped a lot of information.
You know, you pay taxes every day. You don't see nobody handcuffed.
I mean, I agree with you. The White House just posted this on the whitehouse.gov page, and you can see here the faces at the bottom. That's the committee. Biden pardoned all of these buttholes, and I think they're all worried.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, because this is where I think this goes. If Donald Trump can prove that Biden's presidency was illegitimate, all of these shitheads that are pardoned, their
I'll
pardons.
stop you right there, sir. If Trump can prove the election was stolen in 2020, I'll stand up and fucking pick up a rifle and make that man be president again in 2028.
You take care, and I did not hear that.
that shit.
God bless you. I did not hear that comment. I didn't hear it. I do got my 30-30 back there, my Marlin. But if Donald Trump can prove that Biden was illegitimate, all of these people are irrelevant. Look at this. Let's play this.
We have responsibility, Terry. We did not have any accountability for what was going on there, and we should have. This is ridiculous. You're going to ask me in the middle of the thing when they've already breached the inaugural stuff should we call the Capitol Police? I mean, the National Guard? Why weren't the National Guard there to begin with?
They thought that they had sufficient resources.
No, that is not a question of how they had. They clearly didn't know, and I take responsibility for not having them just prepared for more.
You heard it out of Nancy Pelosi's own vodka-tainted mouth.
How they don't know. They clearly didn't know, and I take responsibility for not having them.
She takes responsibility for it. Nancy Pelosi just took responsibility. You heard it right there. She admitted it. And that is why Democrats don't want Maduro to say anything. Troll under the bridge. Bring it. What you got, Troll?
Hey, I got a question for you in the chat. If you were Maduro, who would you trust your life with? The Trump administration or the Biden-Clinton administration? Just something to think about.
Oh, my God. That's an easy one. I mean, that's an easy one. I mean, Troll, I want to ask you a logical question. Just a logical question. Do you think that Democrats and some Republicans took money from Maduro?
Oh, 100%. They got $16.6 trillion in oil reserves sitting off to the side. I mean, if you were corrupt, why wouldn't you take the money? I mean, it's just sitting there.
And here's the other question, or here's the other thing in the now you just explained to everyone listening why Democrats are defending Maduro.
It's the TDS, man. Whether anybody believes it or not, TDS is a true symptom of mental instability. I mean, hey, like I was saying earlier, if there was a drowning baby in the ocean and Trump tried to save it, they say Trump was starving the sharks.
Oh yeah. He was preventing the sharks from fulfilling their full potential. That's exactly right. Yep. Troll, I appreciate you calling, man. Thank you for being a moderator. Troll under the bridge. Troll's about to get a CDL license. I saw him mentioning that in the Discord. Well, let's go here. Line 2. What you got, line 2?
Hey, how you doing?
Amazing. Talk to me.
Hey, the situation with this whole situation with Venezuela.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what really is going on is it's going back to the 2020 election. I think I called in a while ago and I mentioned that to you. Now the situation is going to come about is how it's going to be presented, and this is a awesome drop for you. You could take it any way you want. It's basically that Maduro is going to cough up evidence. It's going to go against 60 senators or more that is going to be charged, that are going to be convicted, and they're going to be plucked out just like Maduro. So here's the problem. They were all embezzling money from Venezuela. They were also embezzling money from different cartels. Are you there?
I don't disagree with you at all. I cannot.
Yeah.
I don't have evidence that would lead me to disagree with you.
Go to there's Christine. She's out of Texas. She's got the whole thing on Rand Paul that he took millions from the cartel, and I would have to get back to you on the name, but she's a news reporter, and she's got the information right now on every senator. Not only that, there's a ton of people that are involved with this, and yes, it also is going up to Canada because there's a bunch of cartel that moved out of Mexico to Canada, and now they're running it all through Canada, and that's where the whole entire situation is. That's why the cartel's really not moving on the border right now, because they're up in Canada. So you got to kind of figure through Canada, they're running it through Colombia, Cuba, right up to UK and France, and that's how the drugs are coming through to Canada. And they're coming through our southern border, not our northern border.
I found the clip that you're talking about. I'm going to play this. This is all alleged for YouTube health and safety. Thank you so much for calling. Appreciate it. Great caller. Let me play this. I don't know if this is real. I can't confirm it. Fred, Daisy's entitled to the couch too. He, for such a little dog, he's got a big attitude.
Rand Paul has been implicated as one of the politicians who has been taking millions of dollars from the Maduro regime, according to a high-ranking government source. The Kentucky senator was named as a central figure on a reported Venezuela list of U.S. politicians allegedly receiving multi-million-dollar payments from Maduro's regime and narco-trafficking networks, according to that high-ranking Venezuelan government defector. The source alleges that Paul has accepted bribes in exchange for political actions meant to undermine President Trump's military and diplomatic campaign against the Maduro government, including his recent efforts to block funding while claiming that Trump is committing quote-unquote war crimes in the Caribbean. The Venezuelan source says Paul received seven-figure payments funneled through intermediaries tied to the Cartel de los Soles, which is the Venezuelan military-led drug trafficking organization.
Who is this Christina Aguayo? Christina Aguayo. Let me see if I can find this. At Christina Aguayo. How do you say that? Aguayo. Somebody says AI. I don't know. AI is getting so good. I don't know. Christina Aguayo. Who is this? No, that's not her, is it? Who cares? I don't know about this. I don't know if this is real. If it is, buckle the door, or Katie, bar the door. Rand Paul criticizes Maduro capture amid debunked bribe hoax. Oh, I put out a comment. How can I improve the live shows? What would you like to see added to the live shows to improve them? Let me know what you think would be good to improve the live shows. Let me know. And be as harsh or critical as whatever you want. I got the gold mic. I would love to be Rush 2.0. I don't think that'll ever happen. That guy was a legend. I am no legend. Not even in my own mind. But how can I improve the shows? You let me know. But this is big coming out of the White House, this whitehouse.gov website giving all of the information about the J6 stuff. I did see where, what's that guy's name? Michael Bird. daycare. He opened a daycare. The guy that got rid of Ashley Babbitt. What was his name? Michael Bird. Yeah. Here we go. Lines are open, 615-475-7864. Michael Bird has a daycare in Maryland. Same thug who took Ashley Babbitt. Life on J6. That's today, 5 years ago today. God bless her and her family. No parent should feel safe leaving their child at any place that, yeah. Look at this. New records show U.S. Capitol Police Captain Michael Bird, who fatally took Ashley Babbitt's life without warning, has been running an unaccredited daycare center with his wife, Kaliska, from their Maryland home since 2008. He's received $190 million in taxpayer daycare funding. And look at this. This is the daycare center right here. Brandywine Daycare. $190 million for this. You like that? Wow. Sorry, line 2. Go ahead, line 2. What you got?
My line 2.
Yes, sir. Go for it.
Roger that. I just want to give you props, brother. 3-door gunner on submarine.
Absolutely.
Keep it rocking.
Where are you calling from tonight? Where are you calling from?
Kodak, Tennessee.
Tennessee. Okay. Let me ask you this. What do you
by your door? What's up?
What do you think about all this stuff going on with the Maduro, the Trump administration, Dan Bongino going back to work on Rumble as a podcaster, leaving the FBI? What's your take on some of this stuff?
I don't give a shit. I hope we take Canada and liberate that shit.
You know, Canada is our ugly stepbrother. I agree. And a lot of them would like to be
more like an ugly stepsister.
redheaded stepsister named Tammy. You're absolutely right.
After we take care of Canada, we need to go down to Mexico and clean that shit up.
That would be interesting.
Bring the rain, brother.
Absolutely. Brother, you take care. Have a great night. Thank you for calling. I appreciate all your support.
Too, sir.
Take care. God bless you.
God love.
There we go. Check this out. This is a little meme from the Dilly Meme Team. I love Dilly Meme Team. Here we go. Let's go. Let's roll it. Whoa, I'm going to turn the music down. They'll copyright strike the hell out of it. Look at that. Marjorie playing the victim. Rolled the dice. Now I lose. Oh, I love this. You've got to love the creativity of this stuff. You've got to. Oh, that's a face that only a mother could love. Guys, gals, girls, this is the Ben Dyke Show. I really appreciate you tuning in. Make sure you smash the like and subscribe button, even if you disagree with me. I don't care. I'm going to put a link in the chat if you want to. If there's anybody in the chat that's interested in starting a YouTube channel, I will happily help you out. I'll give you some information. I just put a link there. There's a little Amazon link. It's all the equipment that I use. Somebody asked me the other day what I use to make videos with. I put that together. Still waiting the cuffs to go on some Democrats. Vince Pittman. Vince, I agree with you, brother. I cannot disagree with that at all. New coffee company, Level 3 Coffee. Same coffee rebranded. I'm now actually a little bit of I've got a stake in it. Not much. Just enough to get me some free coffee. Maybe that's enough. Also, mypillow.com. Feel free to go and get you another pillow. If nothing else, to smother your Democrat mother-in-law with. There you go. And also, let me see if I can find the other one right here. Biltong USA. Go check that out. You will not be disappointed. This is the Ben Dyke Show. I really appreciate you tuning in. Thank you so much. I hope y'all like the new setup here. I hope you like the new setup and all that other kind of crap. I've had to move some stuff around. But if you want some help, join the channel as a member. Get into the Discord server. All the money that I make off of the super chats and memberships goes to help veterans with service dogs. So it's not like I'm out there buying a DeLorean as much as I would like to go back in time. Got your balls. Hey, Ben, what's up, dude? You guys take care. I will. Let me see if I can get Daisy and Fred in here real quick. I know they always like to say hello and goodbye and all that kind of crap. There we go. Fred, come on in here, Fred. Let's go. Daisy girl. I don't know where they're at. Daisy here. Here we go. There's Daisy right here. There's Daisy. There's Daisy right here. Fred's happy because she's off of his side of the couch. And here's the little Fredster. This is Fredster right here. This is my boy Fred. Say hello to Fred. We love you, Ben. Thank you, Frosty. Thank you. No flag. That over there, let me see. The flag there, I don't know if I can zoom out. Wait, I don't know if I can do that. How do I do that? Let me see. Wait. Oh, yeah. So here, crap. I don't know how to do that. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Wait, right up there in the top left, that's a flag. It's an American flag with like a, what do you call it? It's a wooden, like carved flag. Let me see if I can get it here. Nope, that's not it. But anyway, it's like one of those carved flags. And I don't know if I can move the damn camera around. Hold on, let me see. Oh yeah, there it is right there. There you go. See up there? See up there? It's one of those like flag. It's wooden and it's carved. Half of it's American flag, half of it's United States Navy. See down here all my little challenge coins and all that stuff. Got some guitars over here. One of them Tommy sent me. Yeah, there you go. What happened to the bell? To the bell. I don't know what you're talking. I don't know about a bell. I don't know about a bell. But anyway, let me move my camera back around over here. Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. I'm back in focus. There's G.I. Joe #1. That is G.I. Joe issue 1. I might go read it right now. Guys, you guys take care. Appreciate you calling. Thank you very much.